Let's begin in a comfortable seated position. Personally, I'm sitting on a block to lift my hips up a little higher. Some of you may be able to sit back on your heels. Take some nice, full, deep breaths into your belly, ribs, and chest, and settle down and center yourself for your practice. Let the chin come to the throat and gently round the back and open the chest, allowing a bit of cat-cow action to come into the spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. And then releasing the block or whatever you're sitting upon, come onto an all-fours position, tabletop. Bring your hands slightly forward of your shoulders, pressing the hands firmly into the earth, straightening the arms without locking the elbows, and then move the chest towards the earth and away from the earth, what I call flossing your shoulder girdle. Just awakening that joint. Then lift and open the chest, sinking the spine into cow pose and then into cat pose. Inhale, extension of the spine. Exhale, flexion of the spine. Gently awakening that mid-body. Enjoy the movement, going just to those first points of sensation. Then settle yourself in neutral and lifting the hips high to the sky, keeping the knees slightly released. You can rotate your pelvis into down dog. Come back to all fours. And again, round the spine in cat. Inhale, open the spine. Up into downward dog. Firm the belly. Lengthen from hips to fingertips. Breathing deeply and evenly. Releasing to tabletop. And once again, warming up the spine in cat-cow. And a final downward dog, gently stretching the back line of the body, lengthening all the way through the spinal column, coming to all fours. Draw your right knee up towards your right wrist. Turn the foot so that it's in front of your left hip and adjust so your knee is comfortable. Press firmly into the front shin bone, perhaps curl the back toes under. Hug your legs towards each other to create a lift of the pelvis rather than a collapse. And then lengthen from hip to armpit, hands at the hips or behind you to open the chest. Nice deep breath there. And then bringing the hands to the floor, slowly walk forward. Again, keep the legs hugging towards each other so the hips stay high. Your left hip lowering towards your right heel. Keep the pelvis as square as possible rather than dropping down on one side or the other. This keeps the sacrum level. You can rest on your forearms. Some of you might want to lower further and place the head on the floor. Most importantly, keep the alignment of the pelvis and spine and ease into those deep hip rotators on the right side. Take your hands back up, reach over with your leg to come onto your right hip and settle onto both sitting bones for a spinal twist. You can have your left foot either in front of the left hip, or if you have the mobility, take it over the top of the right knee. Gently begin to turn your torso towards that left leg, possibly taking your elbow to the outside of that knee. What's most important here is you keep your spine even, both hips grounded, shoulders square, and then gently twist your rib cage around your spine, your head over your shoulders. Breathe deeply and evenly into this Marichyasana twist. Then take the hands to the floor, unwind, and come to all fours. Once again, set the hands firmly and cat-cow the spine. Inhale, opening. Exhale, press into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here. And then bring the left knee up towards the left wrist, turning the leg at an angle. Keep the shin grounded. Click the toenails into the floor. Back knee is grounded, toes possibly tucked. And again, anchor down and hug towards midline. So there's a lift from the pelvis up through the crown of your head, placing the hands either on the hips, on the floor behind you or interlaced behind your back, just to get that first extension of the spine, deep opening of your back hip flexor, and then we'll come forward into your pigeon pose, placing the forearms on the floor. Be very mindful of your front knee, squaring the pelvis and giving that deep opening to your left hip rotators. Let your breath be fluid and even. Another full deep breath in and out, then placing the hands under the shoulders. Shift the hips underneath you. Spin around to sit on both sitting bones evenly. And I'll shift just to show you the position. Right foot either in front of the right hip, or if you have available, cross over the knee of the opposite leg. And another option, if that left knee needs a break, straighten that leg out instead, and then step the right leg over it. Reaching the right hand behind as a way to lift the spine, possibly bring the left elbow to the knee. Again, what's important here is the spine stays elongated evenly right to left, and you spin the ribs around your core axis. Breathing deeply, inhale, lengthening. Exhale into that deep inner body hug. Twisting the spine and massaging the internal organs. Gently release first the head and then the shoulders. Spin around once again, coming onto all fours. And cat-cow the spine, just to release that effect of the twist. Downward facing dog, lengthening. Release the neck. And then bringing both knees to the floor, either come to the side or roll over your ankles. Personally, I like to sit up on a block for this next move. You may be fine sitting on the floor. Fire log pose. We're going to cross the legs, but bring the, in this position, right ankle to left thigh. And you'll work towards bringing your left heel underneath your right knee. So we're stacking the legs like a fire log. And then go ahead and work slowly into your own sensation of bringing the torso forward with a gentle flexion of the spine. And this will take you deep into your hip rotators once again. So be mindful of your own sensation, not forcing anything, but going gently into those points of resistance. You may want to release the block from underneath you, just to give you an example, and then come forward over the legs. If possible, reach the arms forward. Again, gently curling, still keeping that lower back moving forward so you're not pushing out through the lumbar curve. Let's unwind that and give the legs a break by straightening them out in staff pose. Again, bringing the block underneath the hips. And we'll fire log on the other side. Just giving you another view. Left ankle over right knee. And that right heel can either come anywhere close to the left hip or underneath the left knee. It just depends on your hips and your knee joints. Never force the joints. Ease into sensation. This can be quite intense, especially deep in the hip rotators. Wonderful release for any sciatica. If you've got a deep sciatic discomfort, it could be piriformis syndrome, which was one of the key hip rotators. So take your time finding your way in. Just giving you lots of examples here. On or off the block. Once you find those deep sensations of resistance, breathe mindfully. Urge the body to relax and release. And coming up slowly. Again, release the knees by stretching them out in staff pose. Then we'll take the right leg up, give it a little rocking in the hip joint, placing that right foot inside the left inner thigh. Stretching up, let's turn the belly, ribs, and chest towards the straight leg for a half forward fold, Janu Shirshasana. I like to come in and out of this form, exhaling my way down, inhaling, lifting and lengthening the spine. It's a little Vini yoga technique to come in and out of the pose several times, working your way into your maximum edge, the key point of resistance without forcing anything. Find your way in and then hold and breathe. Drawing that attention inward with this deep forward fold, quieting the energy body. Slowly lift yourself up with the support of your hands. Let's change sides. Bring the left leg up. You could rock it if you want. And then bring it inside, turning the belly, ribs, and chest towards the straight leg and hinging first at the hip joint. Keeping that pelvis rotating forward, pubic bone moving away from the navel, supporting a lumbar curve, and then lengthening in a gentle flexion through the rib cage and the neck, reaching the crown of the head towards that extended leg, out to the foot, and breathe. Don't try and go as far as I'm going. If your body's resistant to that, just find your way into the point of sensation that feels welcoming and breathe into that. Side body expanding with the breath. Surrender with exhalation. And help yourself up as you walk your hands back. Straighten the legs. Nice deep breaths in. Then you're going to lift and open your chest, a bit of extension, perhaps drawing the head back. Then crossing the legs again, easy pose. Sukhasana, cross your legs in a way that feels right to you. Personally, I'm in Siddhasana, where I'm stacking the heels in front of the pubic bone and then gently twisting towards one knee. Again, lengthen side body. Breathe deeply into the back ribs and move into your twist. This is excellent for your internal organs and glands. Let's twist to the other side, including right up through the neck and even turning your eyes, feeling those muscles stretch. Long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Coming back to center. Let's take one hand and just gently rotate with a gentle, repetitive movement. Eyes closed if you get dizzy, or you could keep your gaze forward. And then just settle into that easy pose. Turn the palms up, take Yana Mudra or Chin Mudra, thumb and forefinger together, and settle into a meditation. Long, slow, deep breaths in. Feeling that energy flow through your spinal column. Long, slow, deep breath out. Feeling the connections you've made with breath, body, mind, and spirit. Hands to your heart. Thankful for this time. Namaste.